Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Baby, when I tell you I got a story for y'all today, so y'all better get ready. Because didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you that something didn't sound right about that Buffalo shooting? Let me hit y'all with this disclaimer first. Please like, please share, because we're ready to get deep off into this. We're going to talk about the Buffalo shooting. We're going to talk about the California shooting, the Texas shooting, and then we're going to jump off into that monkeypox, okay? And we're going to break that all the way down because none of it makes any sense. Let me hit y'all with this disclaimer real fast. Be right back. Now, baby, didn't I tell you something didn't sound right about that Buffalo shooting? I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. Something didn't sound right. Did y'all know that the security guard who was Officer Sultan, who had was murdered by this man? Did y'all know that he invented a way to make your car run off of water? Y'all didn't know that, did you? You know why? Because they ain't talking about it. With these inflations, with gas prices, and them trying to move us into these electric cars with this Green New Deal thing, why would they let you know that one single black man in Buffalo, New York, had invented a way, a low cost, I mean, it's cheaper than an electric car, to make a car, an engine based from water? Come on now. You mean to tell me that this boy, this random boy who drove 4 hours out of his way, coincidentally killed the black man who had the recipe to a water-based engine for your car? Check this man out. Because to me, I told y'all from the jump, this don't sound right. And it's awfully funny how, I mean, God bless the dead. And I feel so sorry for the 19, the 21 actually, that died here in Texas. God bless, we're praying for your families. But all of this does not add up. Because they're taking away from that story from the Buffalo shooting. And they're focusing on this. I mean, and we should, because these are children. But this man killed a man who was able to make a engine that could run off of water? You mean to tell me that if my car is running low on water, I could pull off on the side of a highway and go to the nearest little pond, lake, stream, and grab 2 gallons of water and put it in my car and continue on my journey? That's too much like right. Them higher elites was not going to let that black man get away with a water-based engine. Look at this.
Aaron Salter Jr. wore many hats in his life: retired police officer, substitute teacher, but one of his true passions was science. He built a lab in his garage where he spent countless hours working to develop an engine that could run on water.
It's not running off of gas fumes? No, there's no gas fumes. No gas fumes.
Sadly, for all he was in life, the world is learning his story because of the courage he displayed doing his job, protecting his community. Working security at the Tops grocery store, Salter engaged the shooter, who was heavily protected by body armor.
We have evidence that he struck him at least one time, and that unfortunately had no effect.
Not everyone would have made the same choice, to run towards gunfire. And with his experience, 30 years on the Buffalo police force, he had to have guessed the shooter had an assault rifle. Yet Salter tried, ultimately in vain, to save the lives of others.
Aaron was, a great individual, and I know he, in his heart, he wanted to save as many people as he could. And it didn't surprise me to hear that he engaged the guy right away that tried to stop him.
Salter retired from the Buffalo Police Force in 2018, and by all accounts, he didn't need this job at Tops, working security.
Surviving a job in law enforcement and making retirement, it's a big deal for you personally and for your family, because they expect, you can kind of ride it out now and enjoy your life.
But Salter chose to continue serving his community because he believed he could make it better. Now his former colleagues are trying to get him reinstated into that police force for a single day so his city can honor him with the formal police funeral they say he deserves. Mike Lake Global News.
We're not trying to take away from the 21 people children and teachers who got killed in Texas. But let me ask you this question right here. Why they ain't talking about the 3 children that was hit by the car in California earlier that morning? Don't you think that if those kids who were hit by that car that morning, if that would have made world news, if it would have blasted on the media, radio, anywhere, it would have set in a high alert for people to pay attention to their children in Texas? 3 children in Santa Ana, California, was hit by a man named Jason Guzman. Jason Guzman had 3 explosive devices in his car. He had went to an elementary school earlier that day trying to get in. He was going to try to blow up that darn school, honey. Yes, he was. But he didn't get in because the teachers and stuff stopped him. But when they stopped him, what did he do? He went right down the street and ran over 3 elementary school kids on the sidewalk. And when they caught up with him, he had explosive devices that he was going to blow up that elementary school. And when he got caught, he tried to stab himself to death. And they stopped him. Now tell me, why they ain't talking about that? Do you not realize that if they would have been talking about that man who did that nefarious thing in California, how we may have been able to save those children that was in Texas? Where is a possible... And time out. I got a grandson in Texas. I live here in Texas. And since COVID, he's in elementary. Since COVID, you have not been able just to walk inside these schools. No, baby, not here in Texas. Since COVID, you have to get buzzed in from the outside inside. You can't go to the office. You can't walk around that school. None of that. You have to be buzzed in to get into these schools. How does this man get inside that school to do this shooting? That just don't sit right in my head, because me personally knowing I got a grandson here in Texas, and I know personally you're not walking into these schools like that. So how was this man able to do it? Why they ain't talking about these kids in California? Look at what happened to these kids in California. Look at it. Hold on. Look at this.
Taft Elementary School in Santa Ana, the suspect of the accused running down 3 children on the sidewalk moments after being escorted off campus. And police say they found explosives inside his car. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter is live outside the school with the very latest. Leanne?
Colleen, the school was on lockdown for at least 3 hours here as authorities checked the campus for explosives and cleared the scene just a couple of blocks away where those 3 children were run down. Surveillance video capturing the seconds just before the suspect runs down 3 children on the sidewalk. The kids on their way to elementary school in Santa Ana.
I saw a couple kids on the ground. One was in the middle of the street. So I walked up to them to kind of just tend to them, see what's going on. As I walked up to them, I saw an individual with a knife, just walking towards the group of people. Luckily, he turned away and went back to his vehicle.
The suspect, identified as Jason Guzman, was arrested moments later after police said the 26-year-old had stabbed himself in the stomach.
We noticed a large knife in the passenger side. So I'm not sure what happened, if he was kind of attempting suicide or anything like that. But when he fell down, he had blood all over his stomach.
Inside his car, investigators found at least 3 incendiary devices. The drama began with Guzman attempting to get into Taft Elementary School around 8:30 this morning.
He asked to use the restroom at the school, and he looked a little suspicious to the employees there at the school. I believe he was carrying a backpack, so automatically seemed suspicious to the employees, and they escorted him out of off campus.
Witnesses say the suspect seemed to be under the influence or having a mental episode. There's surveillance video appearing to show the suspect specifically targeting the children. Thankfully, all are expected to survive.
It's just scary stuff, to be honest, and things like that don't happen in this neighborhood, so definitely uncalled for and caught me off guard, for sure.
The suspect is from Valencia.
Accused running down 3 children on the sidewalk.
The suspect is from Valencia. Investigators say they don't know what he was doing here in Santa Ana. He was taken to the hospital for his self-inflicted stomach wound. As for those 3 children, all listed in stable condition, expected to make full recoveries.
Mental health plays a huge factor in all of this. I can believe that. I don't think with that whole, we need to take the guns away. I don't believe in that. Honey. Because if a lot of these people knew that everyday average mothers, grandmothers, teachers, and things like that were strapped, they might not be so quick to run up in these schools trying to shoot. I mean, that's just my idea. I don't think that this is a time to take guns away from people. I think this is a time where maybe we should bear arms and protect. Not because of a few or 1 or 2 crazies out here. I mean, like, really for us stable-minded people who just want to protect our families, our loved ones, our kids, our grandkids, our husbands, our wives, our mothers, our fathers. Because there are people out here in this world that we do need to protect our homes for. Okay? So that right there, I'm not really with that one. Okay? Then all of a sudden, when all of this is going on, here come monkeypox. This is what bothers me about this. Is that monkeypox, let's say this correctly. The CDC brought in 100 monkeys, test monkeys, from Africa here to the United States, and there was a wreck. During that wreck, there was a young lady by the name of Michelle Fallon who was exposed to these monkeys. I'm going to show you her video here in a minute. This is my question. Once she was exposed to those monkeys, why they didn't instantly take her to the CDC and quarantine her? Why was this woman allowed to go back out in the public and continue? She was a bartender. Okay, she's a bartender. So when you're a bartender, you take a cup. It might be clean. It's a clean cup. Okay, clean cup. But I done touched it. I done touched it. And then I let you have it. They try to say that monkeypox is spread through homosexual men. Dr. Fauci was wrong about that HIV thing. So I would not take anybody's advice on this monkeypox thing, especially if you do your research and you read how you're able to contract this monkeypox. Meaning, something as simple as, I got on a shirt. I got monkeypox, right? Say my cousin want to borrow my shirt. I take my shirt off. It's contaminated with monkeypox. I give it to her. She now has it. Or she can now get it from my dead skin cells. Okay? If I lay in my bed and I have the monkeypox, and my sister come and lay in my bed with my dead skin cells, she's touching it, it's rubbing it, she can then contract it. This ain't no just between homosexuals, okay? Hard to believe a lot of things nowadays, okay? Especially when it's coming from certain people, okay?
Now to a bizarre story involving the crash of a trailer full of monkeys headed to a lab, and a woman now experiencing health problems after coming in close contact with the primates. The woman says she has been put on preventative medicine for the next 2 weeks, but there are some questions tonight into what these monkeys were being used for and what they could have been infected with. Down there more and it popped up. Michelle Fallon never thought something like this would happen.
I thought, well, zoo monkeys. I didn't know these were animal test monkeys.
After witnessing a crash on a Pennsylvania highway and stopping to help, she learned the truck was carrying 100 monkeys from East Africa, headed for a Missouri test lab.
I thought they were, okay, they had their shots, are good, they've been checked. I didn't know they could have diseases or whatever.
After checking to make sure the driver was okay, she went up to the trailer full of crates, thinking there were cats inside.
They had this green cloth over, so I peel it back and I go to stick my finger in there to try to pet it, and it pops its head up, and I'm like, oh, it's a monkey.
3 of the monkeys escaped in the crash, and 1 was recovered. 2 others were put down. But the hours-long escape forced health officials to issue an alert, warning the community not to come into close contact with the primates because the species commonly spreads herpes virus B.
I'm like, well, I was there and I touched everything.
That alert leaving Michelle on edge and unsure of what to do. Her close contact later leading to pink eye and flu-like symptoms.
I walked through their poop, I touched their crates, I tried to pet them, so now I don't know what's going on.
As a precaution, Michelle has now received her first rabies vaccination and has been prescribed antiviral medication as doctors continue to monitor her symptoms. The location of the CDC quarantine facility where these monkeys were headed and the type of research that they were going to be used for has not been released, but this type of monkey is often used in medical studies. Thanks for watching. Click the
So what we're getting ready to do is I'm going to show you a map of where monkeypox is supposed to be, okay? I am going to show you the definition and the origin where monkeypox came from, okay? I'm going to show you pictures because didn't that lady just say that those monkeys from the CDC was carrying hepatitis? No. Sorry, back up. Herpes. They're all the same to me. I'll show you pictures of how herpes, hepatitis, monkeypox, and smallpox, how they all ironically resemble. Look just alike. You get it the same way. You get all of them the same way. They have the same effects. They have the same side effects. They have the same breakouts. Just different names. Check it out. The name monkeypox originated in 1958 after the first case were documented in monkeys being used in research. However, monkeys were not major carriers of this disease. Monkeypox is usually transmitted to humans by the bite of an infected animal or by touching an infected animal's blood, body fluids, or fur. Okay, I want everybody to look at this map really good of the places where the monkeypox is mostly infected. United States, Canada, these little 7, Germany, where the NATO, that's NATO, and Australia. Where's Africa? It ain't lit up. Where it came from? Non-endemic? Now I wonder what that means. Let's look at it. Non-endemic sponsors are businesses whose products and or services are not directly linked to the market but still benefit from the marketing strategy. Sounds like one world government, this new world order. They're not directly involved, but look, leave me a comment. Leave me your idea. Tell me what you think about all of this. Especially, tell me what you think about Officer Sultan and his mind-blowing invention. Am I the only crazy one? Or does it just seem really ironic that this man came up with a water-based motor and some deranged boy who the police did not kill? I mean, he went to jail without a scratch on his head. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. But if I'm on the right path, and some of you do your research, let me know I'm on the right path. Tell me what you honestly think in my comment section about Officer Sultan in this water-based car and how he just ain't no longer with us no more. This is just mind-blowing. Tell me how y'all feel about how they're overlooking all of this. Tell me how you feel about how they're downplaying these kids getting hit by this car. Hit the like button. Please like, please share. I love you guys, and I'm out.